So we have had an interesting week, obviously, in the market. We've had Trump doing all his madness with the war, and basically the whole market just dipped and then recovered, basically. And basically, the moral of this whole week, the lesson is that we got faked out. I got faked out, man. I saw the market go down, and obviously there was just more liquidity above, and I kept thinking price would just continue down with this sudden momentum. But the overall time frame, like it was actually the weekly time frame, which had that trends, that continuing demand with the liquidity above, and I tried to sell and I was just like lost. I was confused. What we can see here is that we got -8% for the whole week. Monday, it just that's when all the craziness happened. Trump announced something to do with like some positive talks or something and potential of the war ending or something. And then on Tuesday, I then moved a stop loss, and that meant that instead of losing -1%, I lost -2.5%. And then on Thursday, I entered one trade, which was only minus 1%. But instead, I tripled down on it. So I moved the stop loss further. And then after I moved the stop loss further, I then thought, okay, well, let me enter into better opportunities because price is going into a further premium. So I can sell at a better price, at a bigger position size. And I tripled down on that and lost like 4%, which is just ridiculous. So that whole week, I didn't win any trades, -8%. Obviously, on Wednesday, I was like worried and uncertain due to my loss on Tuesday. And then on Friday, I was just like, this is screwed up. Like, obviously, my bias is completely wrong. So let's go over them briefly. So Monday, I entered before the crazy drop, and obviously it had tapped into this 1 hour order block. However, I was trying to aim for this like refined 15-minute order block, and so I was entered too early, and price then went down to sweep more liquidity below these equal lows. So that was silly. It looks good though. It looks good, but I just obviously wanted to get more liquidity, and so we can see here that price came down to sweep just below here. So I entered it around here, boom, liquidity comes down and takes me out. At this point, it wasn't even that much of a problem in hindsight because price didn't even reach this area and the whole market just collapsed because Trump made an announcement, and just before, like around here or something, the whole thing fucking collapsed. Trump announced his thing an hour and 15 minutes after this. So just before it hit here, the whole thing collapsed. And so I missed out on, some terrible gap that could have destroyed me. And the thing is, not take such risk at premium to buy. It's silly, really. Better to be patient, and a sell would have got me a lot of money. Now going into Tuesday, this is where shit really did not go well. So obviously price came down, mitigated this imbalance above this order block, and from here price went up. So we see this rejection. Momentum is saying it wants to go up. Liquidity sweep down, and this was the lowest point, and then the whole market just continued to slowly climb. But here I'm looking at some internal trend, trying to get in before an imbalance is even swept, which is so stupid. And to say what actually happened afterwards is price actually swept below this area. So when price actually came about here, price came down, swept just below here, and then continued up. So this didn't make sense in itself, and this is why on Tuesday I had to stop trading because I really was lost. And in the hindsight as well, you can see I was just lost. I had no idea where I was aiming for, what was going on. This order block didn't even matter because price just mitigated this imbalance. Not only did I enter badly, I also moved my stop loss just above this imbalance. So you can see I had a reason to enter, and then I moved my stop loss, and it was stupid, bro. I could have just gotten out with like a small profit, but instead I was committed to this incorrect bias, and it was it was more the fact that I couldn't accept that I was reading the market incorrectly. It was like a weird like confusion where I was like, instead of accepting I was confused, I doubled down on my like incorrect bias, my cognitive bias. It's silly. So instead of losing 1%, I lost 2.5 because I moved my stop loss. And we moved it up here. So it was really silly. And yeah, so price did go down a little bit, but then just started going up straight away after it did like a dip. I think we can see it here. Price did this, went down here, swept below this area, and then price went up and destroyed our stop loss. So yeah, after that, in emotional markets, it was less emotional markets, more just me being emotional. Like the market just suddenly dropped, which was emotional, but then the market was just recovering in a logical way, and that was just my emotion getting attached to the emotion of the market, and that's where I got manipulated. I got taken because there's more liquidity above. Like price was still trending upwards on the higher time frame, and I was trying to like get involved with this like emotionally manipulated momentum that had just stepped in from Trump talking. So Wednesday we didn't trade, and then Thursday, this is where 50% of our losses came, and this really hurt. If Tuesday hurt, Thursday really hurt. Okay, so 7:10 we entered from this order block, and it just didn't really make sense what we were aiming for. We were aiming for this demand zone which had already been mitigated. Yeah. So it doesn't really make sense what we're doing. Price was trying to go down. You can see the 1 hour showed some fractal market shift to the downside. However, this was actually just mitigating imbalance. We can see that there was just imbalance between this area. So on the 1 hour, even though it shows a fractal market shift, it was actually just getting more liquidity to just continue upwards on this trend. So here we doubled down. We saw another opportunity, and we decided, let's see what happens. So it came down. Price immediately came all the way up, bro. It literally did a massive V shape. At this point, I'm shitting myself and I'm thinking, surely I can't be wrong. Then I moved my stop loss again, and we can see on this one where I entered for a third time, where I'd moved my stop loss up a bit further, right here. So instead of taking a 1% loss, I thought, surely I can't be wrong. Moved my stop loss here, and overall the the market shot upwards, as we can see here. 11:45, I was done. What a way to like start the second half of the week. Really, really difficult. I'm glad I'm going through it now. It's such a weird feeling going through these trade reviews, especially when it just goes so badly, because you can see how stupid I am. Like, look, I've got the fractal market shift, but really it's just mitigating imbalance, and this higher time frame is just going straight up. So lost 4% here, and I was like, okay, something is so bad with my mindset. Like, I need to take a step back. It's better than it's ever been. I mean, I only lost 8%, which is actually a lot, but I've previously crashed out really hard on these type of situations, and I just need to take a step back and look at the market objectively. Yeah. So overall for the month, we are up, which is really good. I mean, we had such a good 2 weeks, even though the second week was so chaotic. Yeah, because I didn't trade the first week. I think this is after I'd blown an account, and I was taking time away. I came back, started off strong. Then the second week was really good, even though it was crazy. So it's insanity. And then this week, like, we just had some bad trading, and nothing went well. We saw the market completely incorrectly. Market was manipulated. we were shook a little bit. Then we tried to get with the manipulation, and obviously price was just still continuing up in that overall trend. So the manipulation got wavered, and we were on the wrong side of this. So yeah, pretty crazy. And the way that I say this whole week is that I got faked out. That's really what happened. I got faked out, and I need to be just conscious of this higher time frame, like this sort of strange manipulation, because this happened. I got a really great trade. Was it? I think it was here, this one, where price just randomly dropped, and I was like, oh shit, it's a better opportunity to enter. And so I entered, and I got that massive trade. But that's literally what happened on the higher time frame, like with this Trump shit. Is that price literally just completely crashed and then just continued going up, like sustainably, steadily. So yeah, man, it's just pretty sad, really. And looking at this market now, like we can see the whole thing just completely recovered. And what we're looking at is this order block, this weekly order block which price is into, and we're gonna see all-time highs coming up, I think. So that's a whole new setup in itself. Once this gets gets swept, then we change to our all-time high strategy. But for the moment, we're just within this weekly order block, and we're just trading internally. I'm just coming back to this steady. I mean, we see an order block here in 4 hours, so this is where I'll be selling down to. Just see this top get swept, and we'll just look for some 1 hour doji before taking it down into this block, and then just trading upwards continually. Yeah, it's ill. It's not nice to be on the wrong side of the market, and then just having to just recalibrate and get on the right side. It's like, damn, it's so stupid, but at least I didn't waste more money. Minus 8% is the maximum I could take for the week, really. Minus 8% was disgusting. Like, any more than that, and I'd actually be really, really hurt. At that maximum, it is painful. So yeah, we're just gonna move forward, just take it with a lot of good stride, and with just brains, objective brains, just take it steady. Don't let it push us over. Just going over this right now, it just gives me a lot of confidence. It's so strange, bruv. Even just entering this, I was just like, shit, son, I don't even know what to say. But just said it, bro. So yeah, this is all crazy. We've got last monk mode to go over this week, and then next week we'll do one more of these reviews to like round off this quarter, and then we're gonna do a whole analysis of 1 to 20 trades, which I previously did, but it was a bit long, and also I want to get the results in, which I didn't have in the previous one, so that I can actually go over like potential other areas to enter. So yeah, massive momentum, massive motives ahead of us. So let's fucking get this. Fucking big ups to all of you who's fucking all my fucking 20 million fucking viewers. Yeah, okay, so fuck yeah, keep fucking being a G, and big ups.